Yes, people, welcome to the Shoestring Budget Podcast. Manchester United have come away from Goodison Park as 2-1 winners against an Everton side who really did try and threaten us, certainly towards the end. It was a fantastic game. We're going to get into everything. We're going to talk through the player ratings. We're going to go through my thoughts on the game, your thoughts. Well, so get your comments in. Make sure you hit me with all your comments as well, guys. I got here. Peter, evening, guys. What a win. Ronaldo, the GOAT. Ronaldo is the GOAT. And we said after that game against Ammonia, it was just that he lacked the finishing touch in that game. He played really, really well. And we got to see today on the back of a Martial injury, which is upsetting. We'll talk a bit about that as well. But we got to see Ronaldo score again. His 700th goal, club goal. Fantastic record. I read an interesting stat earlier, staying on Ronaldo. It will take, I think even if Haaland is on the same, if he scores the same amount of goals as he's scoring at the minute, by the time he's 38, he still won't have scored as many as Cristiano Ronaldo, which is insane. That just puts it into perspective how goated Ronaldo is. So that's very good. Got here, evening mate, my heart was in my mouth for the last 3 minutes. I think it was for all of us, Craig there. Katie, evening JD, evening Katie, what a game. I know, fantastic game. Yeah, heart was in the mouth for the last few minutes. It was horrible. I said, I think they're going to score. I could just have that feeling. The draw seemed to be getting away from us, or the tie rather was seeming to get away from us. We had the Rashford handball decision, which was a joke in my opinion. Absolutely disgusting decision, but it's the law, so I guess you got to go with it. And the amount of pressure that they piled on us at the end, we did really well. We did really, really well. That handball decision was a joke also. It was. So a friend of mine sent me a tweet as well, and he said that if Rashford had squared that ball to, I think it was Bruno, for Bruno to tap in, it would have stood. The reason it was given as a handball was because he was the one that scored it after it hit in his hand. Despite the fact it had hit, I think it was his leg, his chest, every other body part before it hits his hand. Nah, it's an absolute joke. So thank you guys for jumping in the chat. It's great to see you all as always. But wow, we were fantastic today. Certainly in that first half performance was unreal. Nothing but pressure. We played really good passing. We kept the ball well. Yeah, we were on it. We started off poorly. Casemiro was caught out by Onana, and then Everton went through, scored the opening goal. Bit of a rubbish start. I thought, here we go again. You know, we need. This is a game we need to build momentum, and we start this poorly. Great. But after that, we seemed to really settle into the game, really settled it. Casemiro was an interesting one in midfield. I'm intrigued to see what you guys in the comments think of his performance today. It's his first start in the Premier League for Manchester United. I've seen some mixed reviews on Twitter and on Facebook, but yeah, I'm intrigued to see what you guys think. Got a couple more comments here. I'm liking the resilience from this team under Eric Ten Hag, though he's got them battling. You're absolutely right. He really, really has. He's they were so compact at the end. They didn't give anything away. It didn't look like they were under pressure, but they still looked quite calm with it. Do you know what I mean? I think the crowd and the atmosphere really were the things that were putting them under pressure. We seemed really calm today. Other than the first goal that they scored, after that we were in pretty much cruise control. Certainly second half cruise control. First half it was us dominating. I'm just buzzing we've come away, because the first few minutes of that game I thought, here we go. This is it. This is going to be awful. We overpaid for Anthony, but he's proven to be worth every penny. Totally agree, Craig. Totally agree. What a performance from him today. He was my man of the match. We're going to go through the play ratings in a sec. It's not going to be a long one tonight, because I know it's a late one as it is. I'm just buzzing, as I know you guys in the comments are. I can see lots of celebrations and things. It's a fantastic result. Really is a good result. Certainly on the back of that 6-3 job that we had at the Etihad last weekend. So this time last week we were all depressed. Now we're loving life. The performance was night and day, to be honest. Some great parts and some dreadful bits. Also, Dalot wasn't that great today. Dalot was poor today. Yeah, I know that's going to upset some people. Dalot was... He's been so good this season. This is the first game I think he's had a bad one, so we've got to give him a bit of leeway. Maybe we shouldn't jump on him too much, but I totally agree. He was poor tonight. He was one of our poorer players. Didn't think much of him tonight. I think he was one of the few, though, to be fair, that were poor. A lot of our play today, our link-up play was good. The pressing from Ronaldo was good. There's a narrative behind Ronaldo that he doesn't press. And the last two games against Ammonia and Everton, he pressed, and he looks really good. And he should have scored a hat-trick, if not more, against Ammonia. But today, took his chance really, really well. Linked up play perfectly amongst the front three. He was really good. His link-up with Anthony and obviously with Bruno was always good. But yeah, really good to see today. And maybe that's it with Martial being injured. I'm not sure how long it is. If you guys have seen anything about Martial's injury, if you know how long, put it in the comments. I haven't had a chance to see. But we'll go through the player ratings. Make sure you get your player ratings in as well, because I'm intrigued to see what you guys think. So let's get this up. Great win. So we're going to start with David De Gea. Now, David didn't have the most to do, but there was a chance certainly at the very end with James Garner, which would have completely broke me. I was so upset when he came on. That boy should be in the red of Manchester, not in the blue of Everton. Shouldn't be happening. But here we are. I'm going to give David a 7 today. The reason I'm going to give David a 7 is he came off his line quite a lot. He played very much as a sweeper keeper today, probably the most I've ever seen him play like that. And for the first time, he actually looked quite comfortable in that, playing that role. We saw against Brentford he played it short quite a lot and it didn't work, whereas this game today he looked much more commanding when he came out of his area. Sometimes he came out needlessly just because he wanted to shore up the defence, but there was a save against Garner, and even towards the end from corners catching the ball, the way he organised defence, I think he was really, really good today. Really solid De Gea performance. Didn't have loads to do, but when he was called upon, he was there. So that's what you need. I'm going to go the opposite way this time, because we'll finish the defensive score on Diego Dolo when we get there. I'm going to start with Luke Shaw. Now, Luke Shaw, I thought was pretty decent today. I was intrigued to see if he would start over Malacia. In our last game against Ammonia, I said, I think Luke Shaw should start this game. I thought he played really, really well. There was certainly second half. There were parts of the second half where he completely dominated that flank. And he was up against Gordon, who I thought didn't really offer much today. I thought he was quite poor. I haven't seen much of Anthony Gordon, but I know he was linked with Chelsea in the summer for like 50 million, so I was expecting more than what I saw today. But put that down to Luke Shaw. Shawberto Carlos is back, I'm hoping. But I think, though, the two times that we've seen, or the time that we've seen Luke Shaw at his best, was when he had real competition at Manchester United. When we brought Alex Telles in, that was the season that we first saw Shawberto Carlos. Now he's been dropped and he's been replaced with Malacia, who's been fantastic. He's only had a couple of games where he's played a bit, been a bit wobbly, let's say. He knows now he has to up his game, and that, based on history, is when we see the best of Luke Shaw. So fingers crossed this is him going to step up now. Got a couple of comments here. De Gea gets a 7 for me. Distribution was on point. Good sweeping. Made it a couple of good... Yeah, exactly. That's it. 7. I think De Gea was a superb. He read the game so well. He's quickly off his line. 7.5. Yeah, so we're going 7s to mid-high 7s. We've got De Gea 7 for me. That save was amazing near the end of the match. Oh, it was a fantastic save. It just looked like it was going to creep in. Shaw 7, he's a proper Energizer bunny. I love that. Thanks for the emoji there as well. Totally agree. 7.5 for Shaw. So we're going there. I'm going to go with a 7 for Shaw. Yeah, he was really good. Solid again. Shows what we need. Now I'm hoping that we start to see more of this from Luke Shaw. I really am. We're going to move across now to Lisandro Martinez. He's fastly becoming my favourite Manchester United player. Certainly this season, the work rate, the way he reads the games, the tenacity, the way he winds up the defence. He's like a better Marcus Rojo. Marcus Rojo was very small, very tenacious, gets in players' faces, but defensively was a bit wobbly. I haven't seen many wobbly performances from Martinez. He cuts through the line with his passing. We picked up on that in the Ammonia game, and yeah, he's solid, really fast, really tenacious, and he's a wind-up merchant, and that is what I love. So I am going to go with. I'm gonna go with a 7 again, but it is creeping up to maybe a 7.5. He is very good, and silencing the haters. We even sent out a tweet to Jamie Carragher today. Liverpool, he always picks up on Martinez's height. You know, he's too small to be a centre back and all that. But you see Liverpool's defence, all 6 foot plus defenders got tore apart today. So height doesn't come into it as much as he thinks anymore. So yeah, I'm going to go with a 7. Got Martinez, 7, superb, such a hard man, must be a pain in the yeah, for attackers to play against. He's just tenacious, absolutely tenacious. Love Martinez, so feisty and hard-working. 7 or an 8 from me, yeah. I got 8 for Martinez. Yeah, I'm feeling more of an 8, to be honest. I'm going to change it. You're right. I'm going to go with an 8. I'm going to go with an 8 today. Martinez was on it. So good. Like I say, he's fastly becoming my Manchester United Player of the Year already. I love him. I think he's great. And hopefully this continues. Move across to Victor Lindelof. Solid from him today, to be fair. You know, I was quite critical of him against Ammonia. I thought he did pretty well. Again, long-range passing is his thing. He loves whacking that ball forward and hoping someone runs onto it. I was excited at the start of the game when I saw that Martial, Rashford and Anthony were playing as a front three, because with Victor Lindelof's long-range passing, he's very good. He can cause issues. Certainly if Everton were to press on us as they did towards the end, a good long ball and we're through. But obviously with Martial going off, that wasn't to be. But still, solid performance. I'm going to go with a 7. Don't think he did anything wrong. Don't think he was at fault for anything, really. He was commanding when he needed to be. And we've seen it before, though, with Lindelof. I think the jury's kind of out on him, rightfully so. I don't think he's Manchester United material. He's too inconsistent. He'll be a 7 today, could be an 8 at midweek, and then on the weekend against Newcastle, he could drop down to a 3. It's too inconsistent for me. But today, based on today's, I'm going to give him a 7. Looking in the comments, I think most people are agreeing. Lindelof, solid 7 with the ball, didn't do anything wrong yet. Lindelof was a 6.5. He was all right today, did what he needed to, so slightly lower than the 7 there. Got Lindelof, solid 7. Yeah. Good with the ball. Good with the ball at his feet. That's what I think we need. We need that, but not long term. You know, whilst Varane was injured, or, you know, that's all we've got really other than Maguire. He's all right to fill in there, but I don't want to see that as a permanent pairing, and I don't think we will. So no worry there. Moving on to the man, Diogo Dalot. Now, where do I start? He did his job in terms of his positional play. I don't think his positional play was an issue today, but very sloppy with his passing. He gave a lot of balls away in dangerous areas as well. He tried to pass a lot, I noticed, into the centre of midfield to someone like Eriksen or Casemiro. He tried to link up that way, and a lot of his passes ended up, you know, veering off and ended up usually with Onana read the ball quite well today, I thought. But that was his worst performance of the season. And having said that, it wasn't that bad. So that's not the worst we've ever seen Diogo Dalot play. You know, so I'm going to go with, I don't think it's as harsh to give like a 4-2 or a 3. I'm going to go with a 5. I think he was just below average today. Out of all the players, I think he was arguably the sloppiest a lot of the time. His passing was really off. Dalot, 5, really poor. Still love him, but defo think we need a backup to give him the push in that right direction. Yeah, I don't know what it is with that position. We've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, obviously, but he's injured and he doesn't want to. Well, Erik ten Hag doesn't want to feature him in the United team. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think similar thing what we said to Luke Shaw, and having someone there to compete with that position is what would maybe service Dalot well. He's been brilliant this season. He's been a revelation. You know, I called him out so many times last season. I think I even hashtagged a couple of Dalot out. I was so angry with the guy last year. I thought he was poor. This season he's hit the ground running. He's been fantastic pretty much every game. Today was a slightly off day. Wasn't the worst performance in the world, but what we needed today he didn't provide. So I'm going to go with a 5. Don't think it needs it's not that deep with him today. Hopefully, just a blip in the system and he can move. Got Craig 4 for Delo. He was poor, very sloppy. He looked lethargic. Yeah, he did look lethargic, but maybe that is down to tiredness. Maybe that is where we are needing an extra set of legs in there to help him. Maybe. I think Delo is getting too comfortable. He needs competition. Yeah. Again, we've said that on every single one. Maybe competition would serve him well, not just for the competitive nature, but for the resting as well. You know, he does a lot. Certainly, fullbacks nowadays, modern fullbacks are up and down all game, and that takes its toll. Certainly when you're playing Thursday to Sunday every week, and then on the international breaks, is obviously at Portugal as well. A lot of talk about him being linked with moves to Barcelona. We're going to do a stream tomorrow night. Me and the boys going to do some transfer talk and some just Monday madness, really. So make sure you check out the notifications for that. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and then you'll know when we're on. I'll also post it all over Twitter, as always. So yeah, Delo, I'm going to go with a 5. Poor from him. Now, moving up, Casemiro. Poor start for him. Caught on the ball by Onana, picked his pocket, and then Iwobi went up the pitch and scored. It was a very good finish from Iwobi, very, very good take, and it straight away put us under the cosh. It wasn't the start that we wanted or needed. Certainly not at Goodison Park. It could have gone either way. I think Everton's staticness helped us a lot today. But having said that, he bounced back well. He recovered, and he obviously got the assist for Ronaldo's goal, which ended up being the winner. I don't think he did much wrong after that. There was maybe a couple of sloppy passes, but nothing too outrageous, nothing that really cost us. But I think once that goal had gone in, for some strange reason, he settled into the game quite nicely, even though he was the one that his mistake led to the goal. But I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying that, you know, he should be dropped now. He should go. He should have, after that first half, you know, he should have been subbed off. But I don't know. I don't think it's that deep again. I'm glad he got his start. Do I think Scott McTominay could have done more in this game? Not really. I think Scott McTominay would have had a very similar game to Casemiro. Maybe without the assist as well, that all-important assist. I don't think McTominay would be in that position, and I think he'd make the pass, but I don't think he'd be in that position to win the ball back. We've got some comments here. What do you guys think? Before I look into the comments, I'm going to give Casemiro I'm going to give him a 7. I think he recovered well to that early mistake. I think he bounced back, and he didn't really put a foot wrong after it, and he got the assist that ultimately won us the game, which is the most important. So I think that drags him up to above average. So I'm going to give him a 7 today. Casemiro, 7. Sloppy in possession early on, but grew into the game, broke up the game well, and used the ball really well. Exactly. It's pretty much echoing what my thoughts were as well. Yeah, he just seemed to he was just very calm, and he had a really good chance as well, of course, in the first half. I think it was Rashford whipped the ball in, and he had a header at the near post, and it just went wide, and I mean, that would have just settled him even more. But I like these runs that he makes forward. We don't see that too much from Scott, and I do think this is where Casemiro could just have the edge now. It's a weird thing saying that Casemiro's only slightly got the edge on Scott. Scott has been very solid this year. Came on and got a yellow today, so not good for him, but he misses the next game. So we're more than likely going to see Casemiro in the next game against Newcastle, and I think a good run of games will help him certainly settle into this very tough and fast league, something that he's not experienced. Craig has put Casemiro 8 for Casemiro. I thought he improved as the game went on. He's just heads and shoulders above the rest of the midfield, and he broke the lines. He did break the lines. You're absolutely right. That's something I did miss. He or didn't vocalise it. You're absolutely right. His passing ability is phenomenal, and he just picks out clever passes. Like I say, a few of them did go off. There was a couple of sloppy ones, but even the one that he got the assist for, he actually gave the ball away and then won it back, that then led to the goal. And for me, that's all that matters. If you lose the ball, you win it back. So what? It doesn't matter. Move on. But yeah, you're right. He did break the lines down really well today. That's a very good point, Craig. Very good point. We got here Casemiro did play a bit better in the second half, but I just don't like him. He slips up a lot. I think that's a bit harsh. I think because he's new to this league. It's a fast-paced league. It's a lot faster than anything he's experienced before. Certainly this consistently. You look in Spain, the Everton equivalent is probably, I don't know, maybe Sevilla, maybe Villarreal, maybe, I don't know. But there's not that. Certainly look at the end of the game, that pressure, the fact that he lost the ball where he did and they were able to score from it. Like, you don't see that in many other leagues. The Premier League, you see that week in, week out. They punish you for your mistakes here. And I think he'll learn fast. He's an experienced player. He's played for probably the best team in the world at the best time in the world. Yeah, give him time. Give him time to adjust. It's a big change for him. But like I say, and people in the comments say, he needs time to adjust. And as the game went on, we saw the calm, cool, collected midfielder that we know that's there. Christian Eriksen. Eriksen, for me, I'm going to give a 6. Oh, maybe that's harsh. Eriksen. No, I'm gonna go with a 7 with Eriksen. I think. I don't know. 6.5. 6.5 for Eriksen. Not the best display, but not the worst. Slightly above average again. I don't think he did anything that... I didn't see him break the lines as much today. His link-up was pretty good. Maybe a 7. I don't know. I feel like a 6.5. I don't feel like he's quite a 7, but I don't feel like he's a 6.5. I'm going to just go with a 7. Let's keep the positivity we won today. So, yeah, I think his link-up play was really good. There was, again, a few sloppy passes. I will talk about the sloppy passes in a minute because there's definitely a pattern emerging here, and I think we could maybe put our finger on it. But yeah, I'll go with a 7 for Eriksen. Didn't do anything great. He had a really good effort, I suppose, at the beginning of the game that Pickford just about got. But yeah, don't know. He needs a break now. I think we're looking at him needing a rest, certainly against Ammonia in the midweek. He does not need to play that game. Let McTominay and Fred or McTominay and Casemiro play that game. He does not need to be involved. Give that man a break. So I'm going to go with a 7. Let's have a look at some of these comments. Eriksen 7, I love how he gets into space and uses the ball, keeps it simple and brings composure to the midfield and sets the tempo so well. Such a bargain for a free. Yeah, phenomenal bargain. Don't get me wrong, you can't fault the guy for him coming as a free transfer. Even if we paid 20 or so million for him, he's been fantastic in this Manchester United team. I just think maybe getting a bit leggy now. I'm noticing inconsistencies in his play. And his inconsistencies are starting to become consistent, and that worries me slightly. When you look at him early on at United, he was our star player. He was the one that was picking out the right passes, etc., making the right runs, defending well. I'm starting to notice that isn't happening as much. And I'm not slating him because I still think he's a world-class player. I just think it's signs of a tired player with all his health complications as well. I've been banging on for the last couple of weeks. After that City game, he shouldn't have played midweek. Should have played today, rest again midweek. Doesn't need to play it. Or if he does play, let him play the second half or the first half, whatever. Doesn't need to play. Give him a rest. Eriksen just needs to be rested. Feel for the guy. You can see he's exhausted. He's absolutely brill. 7 for Eriksen. He gets into good spaces, makes the right decision when wins the possession and gets up the pitch. I think his link-up play today was brilliant. I feel like that's why I feel like my initial score was a bit harsh. Was a bit harsh on him. His link-up play was very good, and I do like the way that he can just change a game in a second. He does have that in his locker. I never saw him playing in this position that he's playing now. I didn't think that would be a thing. Just gonna have a look through some more of these comments. Thank you for all these comments as well, guys. Keep them coming in. This is amazing. So thank you. What here? Yeah, he does look a bit jaded and tired. Totally agree. I think he does need a rest. He definitely needs a rest. His tiredness is starting to show. Yeah, I think everyone's agreeing with me on this one as well. He does look exhausted. Midweek against Ammonia on Thursday night, just let the guy have a break. He's got a pacemaker. He needs to rest more than anybody in that team. Let him rest. But we move. I'm going to give him a 7. Good performance from him today. Now we'll go up to the front three that started. Now we'll start with Rashford. To be honest, we'll miss Martial off because he got injured after however long it was, 20 odd minutes. Rashford, I thought did really well today. I thought I thought he started off poorly, started off slowly. His pressing game still frustrates me, certainly in our defensive side of the game. So when we're attacking and he can press, or they win the ball back in their third, his press is okay. But when it comes back to us, there was a chance today where he could have put more pressure on somebody. I think it was maybe Iwobi that was crossing the ball, and towards the end, and he just sort of ambled along, and I'm thinking, come on. And I think Paul Scholes picked up on the wingers not helping out the fullbacks as much. Anthony has changed that in his game again. You saw it today, you saw it against Ammonia. He drops back really, really nicely. I'm not seeing that from Rashford yet as much. Need to see that more. But I think the cross that he put in for Casemiro was on point. When he needed to be there, he was there. He was a threat. You know, we're starting to see the speediness in Rashford again. We always know he's fast, but we're seeing it more now, and I'm liking that. And that for me is a positive sign that he's up for the fight again. You know, he's always been a bit up and down. I'm liking it. I'm intrigued. I'll see what you guys think about Rashford, because I think this could be quite a decisive one, or a divisive one rather. Let's have a look here. I'm going to go with... can see some different scores. I'm going to go with a 7 for Rashford. Yeah, I'll go with a 7. He was very harsh not to get the that one important goal at the end. Very all-important goal. They would have seen us 3-1 up, and we were cruising at that point. It was easy game for us. It just didn't happen. And I think that decision, that rule is absolutely mad. Certainly when it hit him in the way that it did. I can understand if it hit straight off his hand, or if his hand was in an unnatural position, but when it bounces up off your leg, it can go anywhere. And I just think, yeah, I think it's a joke. So I'm going to go with a 7 for Rashford. Let me know what you guys think, if you think that's a fair assessment of that. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm just going to look here. Rashford 7 was decent and should have 100% had the goal. Yeah. Is that 6.5? 6.5 for Rashford. Needs to improve certain aspects of his game to be effective in the system when playing on the left. I think you're kind of alluding to what I'm saying there. I think his pressing game and his defensive game are still not where they need to be. Certainly not to play in this system. And I think overall now, the way the game's played, you do need to defend more, and you do need to intelligently press. And I do think you're right. Maybe that is what you're alluding to as well, because I do agree with you there. We should say 7 for Rashford. Felt bad for him with that goal, because it was quality. He sped up more toward the end of the game, which helped. Yeah, that's a good point. You did see him sprint a lot more towards the end. But again, you didn't see that much during the main part of the game. But I think he's a real talent, Marcus Rashford. I really enjoy him. I just wish he didn't have these dips, you know. Maybe they're not all his fault. Maybe a lot of it is down to the way he's been treated at United, with playing through injuries and things like that, maybe. But yeah, someone put in the comments here, does need to track back more. Totally agree. That's a big part of his game that lets him down. But I'm going to go with a 7. I'll stick with the 7 there. And I'm going to move across to the midfield again. I think I forgot Bruno Fernandes. Bruno. Thought he was good today, you know. I enjoyed Bruno today. I thought he still loves his Hollywood passing, and he still loves the Hail Mary pass and whatnot. But I think, I don't know. I thought he did well today. I thought he linked the play really nicely. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think he did too much wrong. Tracked back nicely. I love now how he doesn't just stay in that 10 role. He drifts off to the wings as well to support them, to overlap if Luke Shaw's still back there. You saw that a few times today when he made blistering runs down the wing. Obviously had a goal that was disallowed as well, with Ronaldo being offside. I think Ronaldo did him a bit of a disservice today. There was 2 chances. So there was the goal that was disallowed. And if Ronaldo had either heard the call, or if he'd left that ball, it was an easy goal for Bruno to score. And then there was also a header in the second half. It came right over, and Ronaldo was offside. And if he left it, Bruno was there to just roll it into the net. So Ronaldo kind of screwed Bruno today. And that was a bit of a shame, but it's, obviously not malicious, not on purpose, one of them. I'll give Bruno a 7. I enjoyed him today. I didn't think he was great. I don't think he was terrible, but I think he was above average. And again, I've still don't think that he's found his old form yet, Bruno. Whether that's because he's being asked to play in a different way or with different, I don't know, not really with different players. It's the same kind of team that we had last season. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think we found the best of Bruno yet, the consistency. I just hope we find it again soon because, you know, he's a talent, that guy. When he's on it, them first 2 seasons we saw of him, yeah, he was on it. Or that season and a half, he was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So what did you guys think here about Bruno? Bruno, 6.5 for me. Had some decent touches and link up, but still a little sloppy with the ball. Yeah, he does. He's always the same. I think Bruno will always be like that. I think, although it is frustrating at times, I think we do have to accept that Bruno is that player that will try everything. Even if he gives the ball away 100 times, he'll try it 101 times to make it, see if it happens. He's very sloppy like that. And it is frustrating in the transition that we're in. I think if you're at a Man City or at a club like that, you'll get away with it. Not that Pep would let you get away with it, but I think defensively and things like that, you'd get away with it. The way Manchester United are and the transition that we're in at the moment, I think you lose the ball too many times, you invite too much pressure, and I think eventually we'll crack. Despite that, today we held out pretty well. 7 for Bruno, did nothing wrong, probably his best game in a while, just needs to be calmer on the ball. Yeah, I think Bruno was good today. I agree with that comment now. This is probably the best game he's had all season, really. I can't think of many games that he played better than today. I think his work rate is really underrated. I think that's something we don't see a lot of, we don't notice a lot of. We focus a lot on the sloppiness of the ball, which I think we are right to do, but his work rate is phenomenal. He's everywhere. He covers every blade of grass. And yeah, he's always there. He's always in someone's face, always winding someone up. And I like that. I like that about him. Tom was on last week and he said he doesn't like how much Bruno whines and whinges and stuff. Personally, I like that side of his game. I like that he gets in people's faces and riles people up. I like that. 6.5 for Bruno. He's still not got the same spark that he used to, but I still think he plays good. Yeah, 6.5s and 7s across the board. I'm going with a 7 for Bruno. We'll stay with Ronaldo now, his compatriot Ronaldo. He was really good today. Again, similar to Ammonia, he was his pressing game is so underrated, and I don't know where this narrative has come from that he can't press. He presses well. Probably presses better than when Rashford was playing as a 9, you know. Go back and watch the games with Rashford as playing as 9. He didn't press as well as Ronaldo did, or as intelligently as Ronaldo did today. And he took his goal really, really well. Obviously, I did speak about him in a bit of a negative light in regards to taking chances away from Bruno. But that happens when you're hungry for goals. I'm just glad to see him score. You know, I didn't want this to be a huge drought for him. He looked so happy when he scored, did that brilliant celebration. I don't even know what that was about with Anthony. I love that. That was a phenomenal celebration. So funny. But I'm going to go with an 8 for Ronaldo today, you know. 700th career goal. And he played well. Played really, really well. I don't think he did anything wrong. His link-up play was brilliant. His vision was brilliant. There was a couple of times he could have given the ball away and he just stopped, froze, looked at options and went with the right pass. Yeah, solid from him today. And I hope we start to see more of that. We may have to now, obviously, with Martial picking up that injury, which is such a shame. I just feel for the guy. We heard before the game that he had picked up a knock in training. They were still starting him, and yeah, he just didn't look right to me when he was playing. Didn't look fully on it, but hopefully it's just a little knock and he's back for the Newcastle game. We need Anthony Martial. I don't think people realise just how much we need someone like him up front. We need it. We need a backup one as well for when Martial does get injured, because this is a consistent theme that he's always injured, you know, in his career. Ronaldo, let's have a look here. 8 for Ronaldo. So happy for him with the goal, and he ran like crazy. The GOAT. Yeah, the return of the GOAT. I think that's what we're going to name this episode, actually. The return of the GOAT. Phenomenal work rate. Again, yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't think I picked up on that. His work rate was brilliant today. He covered everything. Similar to Bruno, he was everywhere. Brilliant. And he took his chance really, really well. So I'm really happy for him. That's a great point about him working like crazy. Ronaldo 8 was class when he came on and he ran his socks off, pressed. Yeah, you guys have picked up on it about his pressing and his work rate. Yeah, I thought he was good. I thought it was his best game. Ronaldo gets a 7 for me. This will boost his confidence. Took his goal really well. 700 career goals, the best to ever do it. Totally agree. I think, yeah, we'll name this one the Return of the GOAT. Yeah, phenomenal. Brilliant guy. And, you know, I know he's not going to probably be with us in the next couple of months. And we are seeing the twilight now, whether he goes in January or next season. But I am really propped up. I'm really excited after seeing what he's, you know, how he started at the start of the season was a bit iffy. And then that game against Ammonia, you know, he missed all them chances, but the fact he was in the positions to get those chances, that gave me a lot of hope. And I was really happy with that. That's why I didn't score him badly in that game, because he was still there. And then today he gets his goal, gets his chance, takes it well. And you're absolutely right. Whoever's put that in the comments, it will just be a boost from. I think it's Craig's put that in there. It's a great point, Craig. It will be a massive boost to his confidence. And Anthony. Oh, I love this kid. This kid is worth every penny. I love him. Phenomenal player. Yeah, we did overpay for him, but I don't care. I'm glad we got him. He's got such tenacity. He's a proper Samba man. He don't care. Anyone gets in his face, he's just like a little tiger, and he just goes at him. Absolutely goes at him. And yeah, I just love him. As you can tell, I'm buzzing about Anthony. Phenomenal player. And for me today, he gets my man of the match. Took his first chance really well, his first goal really well to put us back in the game. He's just cold, isn't he? He's just ice cold. Someone's put that as well. I can see I just saw the emojis. I didn't see the comment. He's just cold. Love him. And I think he's going to do really well. There's a certain thing, and I did bring this up in the midweek podcast as well. There is something about these players that Erik ten Hag has picked, that he's brought in, and they know how to play in a system and in a style that he wants. And he knows the kind of players that we need. We need to trust him in January. Will we do it? Absolutely not. I can almost guarantee we will not be making any January signings. We need them. And we need reinforcements. But is it going to happen? I don't know. I'm going to go with a 9 for Anthony today. I know you guys are going to disagree. It's a high score, but he's my player of the match. I thought his work rate was brilliant. He was covering the flanks. He did everything that I said Rashford should do. And he got the goal that got us back into the game. Well-deserved goal. Well-taken goal as well. It's nice having that left footer on that wing to just bend it round. He scores. Pretty much all his goals have come from that. And he's the first Manchester United player to score in their opening 3 games. Never been done before. 3 Premier League games. Never been done before. So, Anthony, you're my man of the match. Fantastic performance, and just keep on going, you little tiger. You're amazing. Let's have a look what you guys in the comments think. We need another striker in January to cover for Martial, and the potential of Ronaldo going. Yeah, Cody Gakpo. If you follow us on Twitter, which I'm sure you guys all do that are watching this, Gakpo is the one for me. I want Cody Gakpo more than anybody. He scored again today. I saw somewhere that he's on similar stats, if not identical stats, to Erling Haaland. I know he's playing in the Eredivisie, but still, I think. Come on, trust Ten Hag, back Ten Hag. Could get him at a fraction of the price that we're being linked with other players like Osimhen and people like that. Although they might be worth it, Cody Gakpo for me. If we get Cody Gakpo, he's bagging tons of goals. Trust me, I'm going with that. I'm going with my gut feeling. Anthony, 8.5. Love his attitude and just so cool on the ball and in front of goal. Just an Iceman. Yeah, it was your comment. I saw Peter with the emojis. That's made me think he's a cold guy. Man of the match for me. Yes. Well done, yeah. My man of the match too. Anthony, he's incredible. He's feisty. He shows so much passion, and well-deserved goal. 9 for me. Well done, Katie. Yeah, we're on the same wavelength there. Craig's put Anthony gets an 8.5. I love him already. Works his socks off. So creative. Looks like his goal. Sorry, let me just read that again. Oh, took his goal very well. Presses well. Oh, he's a package. He's a good one. You know, we all sort of questioned about the money. Not his fault. Something with the clubs. If we'd have got this guy for 60 million, you'd be looking at this as a bit of a bargain for what he's offering so far. And he's only, 23? He's still got a long way to go. And if he's on this track and he keeps going, we could be looking at another GOAT here. I'm telling you, he's that good. He's that good. We need Gakpo in January. 100%, although you can guarantee we won't get him. I know. It's disgusting the way this club's run. You know our thoughts on the way the club's run. We've spent a lot of money in the summer market. We signed players like Anthony way over the odds. There was rumours that we could have got him a month or two before for like 60 million, 50, 60 million. And we didn't. We ended up spending out 80 odd million on him. Now we haven't got any money for January. We need reinforcements. We need to trust Ten Hag. Ten Hag has signed the ones that we know he wants. You can say Martinez, fantastic player. Ericsson, fantastic player. Anthony, unbelievable prospect. You know, they're the players that you know Ten Hag has put the seal of approval on. Casemiro, I don't think was a Ten Hag signing. I think he said he okayed it because he needed someone like that. I don't think it was his first choice. I know it wasn't his first choice because we signed him quite late on. But I think we need to trust Ten Hag. Ten Hag's decisions on who we need to sign. He has a system. He wants to play a certain way, and we need to back that up. We got here, Glazers out, shout it loud. You're absolutely right. We just need to keep pushing. Keep on the socials as you've been doing, guys. You guys are amazing on the socials. Keep with the Glazers out. Don't buy anything from their store. Just don't fund them. I do think change is coming very soon. I really do. I've seen more movement and more discussions this season than any other season, even more than the ESL season, when they wanted to ship us off to this stupid Americanized league that they wanted to do. I'm seeing more talk and more discussion. You've got obviously about the consortiums that are involved. They're trying to sell 30% or whatever it was of Manchester United. We're starting to see discussions and movements now, and we do need to just keep pushing because I think we are being heard. I think Ten Hag is getting frustrated with all these Ronaldo questions. I noticed during his press conference and the quotes I've seen from his post-match interview, it's awful. And I mean, even swore the other day, which is brilliant. I love to see that that passion from a manager. Like, he's still not quite accustomed to the way that we do things in England, and he just sort of said, he's not happy with being on the bench, etc. With a bit more Dutch language, which is beautiful. And I think he is. I think you're absolutely right. We need to move on. The press need to move on. The problem is Ronaldo will always generate stories. You saw him midweek in the training and he nutmegged Lisandro Martinez and he was so happy. I saw a report where these journalists were saying, Ronaldo's getting overexcited about a nutmeg in training, and I'm like, just give the guy a break. Just, he's had the best career. He's had a better career than any of us are ever going to have. I know none of us are sports people or whatever, but his career, he has worked for his career. A lot of it isn't natural talent with Ronaldo. I'm speaking to someone that saw him when he first signed for Manchester United, and I used to get so angry with him as a kid when I was a kid. And he used to give the ball away left, right and centre, and he used to dribble, and I'm like, just pass the ball. And I didn't want to see all this skill. I didn't want to see it. I just wanted to see pass, move, goal. And to see what he started as to where he's developed to now, this is why I get really emotional when I talk about Ronaldo, and certainly when I see the decline, which is natural because of his age. But it does upset me. But I don't know. I do feel for Ten Hag when it comes to the questions surrounding Cristiano Ronaldo. I really do. It's not a one-man club. I know the man is a GOAT and he's an icon and all that, but he's at the club. We know he doesn't want to be there for whatever reason, for obvious reasons, to be honest, but whatever his reasons are for wanting to leave, he's going to go eventually. He's probably going to go maybe January, if not at the end of the season. Wish him all the best. He's been fantastic, and he will always be an icon to Manchester United and Manchester United fans. That's it, we move. There needs to be no more discussion about him. Leeds will end up getting him for 40 million, and our board will say he's not good enough or too much money. Glazers out. Going back to Cody Gakpo, I think there. So that's exactly what is going to happen. We're going to end up watching him play for Leeds week in, week out, scoring lots of goals, doing really well, and we're going to end up trying to sign him off Leeds for 100 million. You just know it's going to happen. the Glazers never learn. It's not necessarily always the Glazers either. It's Richard Arnold, it's John Murtough, it's the people at the top that are making these decisions, and the board. The fact that Murtough came out a few weeks ago and said, all our business is done till the summer. I'm like, you've just got such an arrogance about you. You fluffed up this entire transfer window. We signed players that, yeah, fair enough, we needed them, but we ended up overpaying for players. We ended up missing out on targets. We ended up looking for strikers like the former Stoke strikers past their twilight of their career. And I'm like, what is going on? You botched up the Šeško deal. I mean, come on, Manchester United. You're the biggest club in the world with the biggest fan base in the world, and you can't do simple things. It's just frustrating. Really frustrating. The press will keep pushing because they know there's potential to get a very good headline. I love Ten Hag's abruptness because it stops the journalists from twisting the words. On Ronaldo, you're absolutely spot on. Spot on. He doesn't leave any room for manoeuvre, and I do think that is why you're seeing a lot of stupid articles now about Ronaldo, where they're picking up on little tiny things, the way he might glance at something, or he might just look down and they take a picture and say, oh, Ronaldo's unhappy. You see him in training the other day. He had smiles on his face. He was happy. He looked part of the team. And knowing he was going to start in that game in Cyprus, Erik Ten Hag is what we need at this club. And it's a hill I'm willing to die on. He will take us to great and extraordinary things, Erik Ten Hag. He's exactly what we need. And I think he's handling the press so well. Probably infuriating them, to be totally honest, because like you say, they can't write anything. What can they write? Is Ronaldo happy? Every other manager would say, yes, he's happy. He's at the biggest club in the world. Ollie would have been like, oh, yes, he's happy. He's happy to be here. He loves the club. Everybody wants to be like Ronaldo. Erik Ten Hag's like, no, he's not happy to be on the bench. Well, there's your headline. Just, that's it. He's not happy. Oh, well, we can't really twist that. It's brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love seeing it. Someone else, I think they're agreeing with that point. Ten Hag has definitely given the journalists a hard job. It's fantastic. Love to see it. Long may it stay. And I just hope we do not let this manager down anymore. I know we are going to, and I know it's a childish wish at this point, because we've got the most incompetent board. And we just need to keep the pressure up. But let's go back to the most important thing. Manchester United won today. Fantastic result. Difficult game at Goodison, and I'm buzzing. And we move on to the Ammonia game midweek. We're going to have a couple more videos coming out in the week as well with the boys. And hopefully we can turn Ammonia over. They gave us a good game at their place. Coming to Old Trafford's going to be a bit more difficult for them. And then we obviously have the game against Newcastle. I am not looking forward to that game. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm going to see here. It's not fair to place somebody ahead of a player who's been informed regardless of the name. I think maybe you're talking about the Casemiro. I'm not sure who that point is aimed at. Maybe it was aimed at Casemiro over McTominay. But I think now obviously McTominay is going to be out for that Newcastle game. He did pick up a yellow card. So we move. Thank you as ever to everybody in the comments. Honestly, guys, thank you. Let's keep pushing it out there. Keep retweeting, guys. Keep getting it all out there. Let's build a community as we always want to do here. And just keep getting involved with us. We'll always follow back. We'll always retweet. We'll always get involved with you guys. And, we're going to definitely focus on the games that are coming up. We've got that Newcastle game. Someone just put it as well in here. I can see a lot of comments about Newcastle. Newcastle are a rough team. It's so tough. But thank you as ever, guys. Honestly, your support it means a lot to us all. And we'll see you on the next one, which should hopefully be tomorrow. Take it easy.